and we're here to look at the Rhino racks, and I call them that because of how they look. They kind of look like horns, and I kind of thought rhino. In fact, it doesn't even look like a rhino's horns, so it's kind of funny. Essentially, as in the thumbnail, these just go on behind the bull bar, and then it all bolts together nice and cleanly and easily. The catch-20 being the bull bar has to be in the air, and then you have to hook this on to the chassis, and then you have to bolt the assembly together as one piece. It is actually not that easy. Now, as for vlogging, last video I made was about small problems equal big problems sort of thing. Now, I've solved a whole bunch of issues by, replacing some cable ties, and while it doesn't seem too significant or important in some ways, I found it very, very important. I go to fix one thing as well, by the way, and then another thing gets broken, and I'm just like, why did you have to do that to me, Dad? This is my bar that holds up the hood. Now, this end was already broken, that doesn't matter, but the whole end that holds this down is now completely broken and unusable, and I have to get a new one. And, everyone has bad minds. We were looking for the part, and we found they were mostly only in Bangkok, and so now we've got to figure out if we can get one closer, and the easiest way to do that is to go to our local auto parts shop. They didn't have anything that would fit, so I'm going to try another shop that's nearby to make it so I can get it sooner rather than later. And that's that. So I got these clips, just like some others I got somewhere. I got these clips from Sprint Auto Parts. They cost $9, and they actually had them on the shelf. And when I was talking to them over the phone the other day, they said they had to get them from the store. I'm just wondering where the original ones. I might have put them away already, but I have a packet of them, unused essentially. These ones here, and they're too small. And so now I've got extras. They're the exact same clips, except one's smaller than the other. So, what I've done professionally is I've used those ties and put them all in their adequate positionings, hiding. There's one right here I'll put there. There's one up there further up, and there's a whole bunch of them. I can see one clearly from here, so we can look directly at what one looks like. So that's it there. I should have clipped it back further, but I thought to myself, well, if I want to unclip it and put it on and reuse it, because it's a reusable sort of one, I can do that. Whereas some people, the originals, you couldn't. They just pushed together and you'd never touch the wiring loom again. But in this case, I reckon I might end up having to touch the wiring loom anyway, because up there, where are your wires? Up here, the wires are, and you can see they're here, and sometimes they get behind. There's a pipe there next to this piece of steel. That pipe to the steel will cut some of those wires if they get caught, which they're very close to getting caught, which is why I decided I'm going to play it safe and use those cable ties. They're not 100% effective, but they do solve part of the problem. I have to find a way of making them tighter. I'll either use what I've got and potentially put more holes into this bar, original sizes or whatever, and then clip a new one in and just tie it back away from where it could get cut. Or what I'll do is I'll take the bull bar off and I'll just trim it with the angle grinder or some form of cutter to clean it up and make it so it can't cut. Otherwise, I will find a way to pull the wires away and out of the way of the bull bar when it goes on to avoid having issues. Now, car's not ready to drive. Wires are unplugged, as we can see right there. I need to plug them up. And I look at those wires and I thought to myself, someone's a smarty pants in future, if I sold this car to anyone, or whoever did not they were doing, if I gave them this car and they were doing electronic work on it, or pulling off the bull bar or something, and they unplug them, they might actually get confused as to what those wires are for, and they might loop it, causing a short. Straight up, there's a short waiting to happen. I have no idea if that's going to actually happen. I'm not going to risk it because those fuses cost too much. But I'm thinking about putting plugs on those for future use, just in case something like that happens. Now, Rhino bars. We did a really good job of these racks, and so now they are ready to get taken away. And, well, properly. Also, I'm looking into some of the information about them. They do, in some ways, obstruct the number plate, but the only information I've been able to find, because they sit roughly here, is that it's a 45-degree angle. They can't be obstructing anything of 45 degrees of the number plate. They do block off the SA on this side. They don't block anything on this side as far as I can tell. So 45 degrees is back from this angle roughly here. And it doesn't really obstruct anything. So I think it'll be okay. I believe it'll be okay. Otherwise, what we'll do is we're planning on taking this number plate off and welding a plate on this, and then screwing the number plate into the plate. So that's a plan we've got in mind. So I don't have a clip for that anymore in the car. I have to get a new one. And the clip is now missing. The car is getting dirty again, and I hate this, but there's nothing I can really do about it at the moment. The hoses, I'm going to have to hold the hood up with my head. Ow. Are nice and firm and tight. I have no idea how long this is going to last. It looks like oil, but I can't really tell from back here, but it is oil. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's coming out there or not, but I'm going to leave this alone. I'm happy with what I've seen. I'm happy with what's been done at the moment. And that can go down. This can potentially go in the back seat just to be certain that if I need it, I've got it, because who doesn't want to have the bar in the car? Or who, thinking about it, I might just get a new bar or something, because this is kind of yucky looking or something. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. All I know is the Rhino racks are happening, and the reason the assembly works the way it does is essentially these little two tongues that go on the back. There's one here and one here, and that hooks onto the chassis in order to avoid having to hold multiple pieces of material up. So this is just going to get welded across the back here, and then this will just sit on the chassis back on this point here, and that will help locate it. Then you don't have to hold that up. You just get this, you have this in the right position first, you put that on with a space here, you bolt it all together, and then it's all good to go. So that's how this was designed. This was designed to minimize the effort to put this assembly together. That means anyone in future who does take this apart will learn how to pull this apart and put it back together easily. They might even wonder, why is this so hard to take off? They might even end up getting a crowbar or something, and then they'll break one and then realize, oh, we weren't meant to do that. So cable ties are done, and that solves that problem. Wiring is a bit more secure. This plastic thing here, I'm not sure this is grill. I'd love to get a new one, but I'm not going to get a new one. I will tell you, I have to make $90 last me 2 to 3 weeks, I believe is the number. I have to wait until the 17th when I get paid. But I also get paid the week before a little bit from another company. I'm just thinking, I got to make $90 last me the week before the 17th of next month. And I don't think it's going to happen, because I'm going to be working where every day costs me about $30 in fuel. And that's very hard to manage. And I've just got under $90, and I had to buy the cables again to do my job properly. So that's gonna really tighten the budget. It's gonna tighten things up. I have a lot of things I want to do. No, this is peeling off. I think the monies that I can save. Oh, I'm not sure whether that's just dirt. Okay, I was just concerned that it was like scratches. I'm gonna eventually, I think, redo the wrap on this car, but I'm also gonna try and do as much as I can to perfect this car as much as possible. What I've learned recently is all this vinyl is getting cracked up, and it's not really that nice. There's cracks all along here, and it's horrible. That is the problem with the vinyl wrap at the moment, is just cracking away, and it's not good. So the simple part of this is, what we're going to do in the future is, if I have enough money, moolah, and this can save up enough, and this is all good to go and it's all perfect, I'll eventually just redo the whole car, paint it, and do everything as properly as I can. And those side doors on the back will be rebuilt or replaced because these doors just buckle and bow. I'll try to fit them for purpose with these this idea here, so then I can strap everything on nice and neatly. I'm actually not sure how I'm going to do this, but I have to make the tray, keep the width of the tray. I have to extend the tray. The plan with phase 2, phase 1 is the racks. Phase 2 is the racks are already here. Now we're going to cut the tray here, and then we're going to add about this much material to push the tray back, and that's possible. This tray needs a lot of work, believe it or not, and that's phase 2. I'm going to just show you, there's a thing missing here. There's a few of these nuggets missing here. There's no supports there, but it doesn't matter. It's got enough strength in it. There's 2 knuckles here, so there's a total of 3 knuckles on this side, and I think there's 1 or 2 on the other side. And that's the weakness about this tray. So this is how I got the tray. Oh, look, there's one right here, and it's just sitting there doing nothing. It's broken, and there's one there. And then what about here? There is one there. So there is a total of 5 actually holding the tray on the car. And all they are is like U-bolts. They're just like this, but huge things. I think this is about all I can do for this video. I am getting so exhausted. By the way, this is part 1 of whatever I've got to do. Then this is part 2, putting these into these black pieces of the tube. And then it's going to solve some other things, help us do some other things. So, just in case you're not sure, this is actually pretty cool. Maybe I should make a seesaw or something out of this. Ha! That'll be cool. But so you guys get an idea of what exactly is this is designed for, what it does. I will put that there and see if I can put a tube in. Essentially, this is what this is for. And that's your ladder rack. So, overhead racks going on the car beautifully, and this is a nice and good fit, and that's about it. So that's my job, that's what I got to do. And then these Rhino racks, I don't know what I should call these things, but they look a bit like a rhino's horn or something. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not even going to call it Rhino anymore. I think they're getting old. I'm tired. I'm going to go now, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.